Hey guys, welcome back. It's TNA Wrestling. It's episode number 4 of TNA, I do believe. Looking at my video list. Oh god, there's an awful view of me. So yeah, I uploaded yesterday episode 4 of AAW. Episode 4 of TNA Wrestling will not be coming out as quick as you thought it would be because we're going to have a weekly series debut very soon. I'm not revealing anything. But 98 to open up tonight. I have decided, because of the sheer size of the rosters, it's going to be better if I just stick to the main tapings for the next two impacts. So just stick to the main TV shows, get those done, get Bound for Glory done, and then get the brand split into full effect because the rosters are getting a bit too big. And there's just too many wrestlers to keep throwing about, and it just takes a long time to load on the if you throw loads of multi-man matches. But there is a few on the main shows just to make sure quite a lot of people get to appear. But we open up with William Regal. He comes down the ring and he goes, "Settle down, please. Your champion is speaking." Boo. You see, in 2 weeks' time, it's Bound for Glory. The biggest night of the year, our WrestleMania. You see, on that night, I've got to face Jericho. The long-haired thug. You see, I'm high society, the posh guy. I eat expensive food and drink expensive wine. And I can afford stuff you could only dream of. Tonight, I'm sending a message saying this. I won this on the first TNA show, and I won't lose it Bound for Glory. And Jericho basically comes out and goes, "Really? You see, I'm going to take you down, and take away that gold. You see, everybody's ready for Bound for Glory, but then the brand split comes in. Whoever holds that championship is the top guy of Explosion, and that's going to be me. You see, everywhere I go, it's a Jericho show." And he goes, "I've been carrying this company on my back. You'll never get this, and now I'll show you why." He then runs at Jericho to throw a punch, but Jericho realizes he's going to do this. He moves, he grabs Regal, puts him into the walls of Jericho. Regal taps out, tapping, he lets go, and you see the joy on Jericho's face. And 98, bloody hell, a brilliant angle from these two to open up tonight's show. I don't think our next match is going to do that good, to be honest. But the entire brand split is set up. Everybody's going where and what's going to happen at Bound for Glory has kind of been set in stone for certain matches. And that will pinnacate on some of the brand movements. But everybody has been positioned on the brand split, so just be warned. But in a bout that had subpar wrestling and a non-existent crowd heat, Amazing Red, Sterling James Kerwin and Al Ligero defeat Excalibur, Sonny Siaki and Paul London in 4:31 when Al Ligero defeated Excalibur by pinfall. Al Ligero debuted without a specific gimmick. I should have sorted that out. Excalibur debuted his old school heel going Scotch run above average. He announced quality in the colour commentary together match a boost. Al Ligero 41, Sterling James Kerwin 34, Amazing Red 53, Paul London 57, Sonny Siaki 49, Excalibur 31. No work improvement. So 49D. I will sort out Ligero's gimmick next week for next week's TV show. As I say, there's no pre-show or post-show tonight. It's just a load of great wrestling. But in a battle that had subpar wrestling and little heat, the UK Pitbulls defeat the Briscoe brothers in 6:03 when Big Dave defeated Mark Briscoe by pinfall to Pitfall. They make defense number 6 of the TNA World Tag Team titles. Announced quality and the colour come together match a boost. Mark Briscoe 45, Jay Briscoe 42, Bulk 34, Big Dave 32. No work in progress, but these guys, since they've signed written deals with us and they've started doing house shows and stuff, they are getting so much better in the ring. So I'm seeing two future stars, to be honest. The UK Pitbulls are celebrating their victory with the belts, but then the Hardys turn up and beat them down to the mat as per usual for this storyline. It's more about beating each other up instead of angles. Then we have a nice women's match, but yeah, it's an abysmal match. Beth Phoenix defeats Gail Kim in 8:13 by pinfall. Gail Kim got a 25, Beth Phoenix 22, a 25E. Beth Phoenix will off again, the announced quality in the colour come together match a boost. We're not sold out tonight. This place seats 2,000 people. All I'm going to say about this is everybody in the women's division needs building up. This is their first year in the wrestling. Everybody is a rookie in the women's division, more or less. There's only the girls who are who are former WWF guys, but even them, some of them are not very good in ring. And then Paul Bearer comes in. Yes, we're getting Paul Bearer comes in. He goes, "Oh, my boys. Oh, yes, Undertaker and Kane called me. You see, tonight in the main event, the brothers join forces to take out Mick Foley and Kurt Angle. Oh, yes. You see, here we go again. But my boys will win. So you guys, you're nothing. Oh no! So Paul Bearer debuts his fun babyface gimmick Scottish Rhino very good. We have a wife storyline on the fantasy segment and gained heat. No work in Bruce, but yeah, Paul Bearer's now back. He's managing the Undertaker and Kane. I couldn't have these two in the Ross company and not have Paul Bearer join them. It was inevitable, but I'd be bringing in Paul Bearer. In a battle that had good wrestling and decent match in the crowd, Jason Liger, Christian Cage and Scott Hall defeats Fit Finlay, Rhino and Ron Killings in 6:07 when Jason Liger defeated Ron Killings by pinfall the Liger Bomb. In terms of ring work, Scott Hall was head and shoulders above everybody else, and in a All Action Wrestling, if you're watching that series, you'll know we've got a very young Liger working for us down there in 1987. Scott Hall got an 87, Christian Cage got a 68, Liger 72, Ron Killings 60, Rhino 67 and Fit Finlay 51. Rhino improving in performance, Scott Hall in Rumble, Liger in performance, Fit Finlay in Rumble and Cage in technical and performance. So the star-studded guy out of this whole match is him. Ron Killings didn't improve in anything, so Ron Killings is the non-standout of that match. But yeah, so the double turn storylines fantasy segment and the big stars from overseas storylines fantasy segment, because Fit Finlay is quite a big star in England. Then we have Brian Kendrick in the back, and he goes, I have told you to stay away, Brian Danielson. I know we're the X Division, but keep away. You're going to get hurt, and you're not as good as me, and you need to back down before I hurt you. Okay, Punk? So the storyline between these two continues, and we haven't got this set in stone for Bound for Glory, but it's going to be set in stone now. Next week is the Go Home show, so don't expect major angles next week. I expect massive backstage brawls. Brian Kendrick and Brian Danielson. Here we go. Even either way, it would have been up there, so I know we hadn't done it. But there you go. So yeah, he's telling him to keep away. And you see, he's a bit of a cocky son of a gun. Then we have in a terrible match, Danny Havoc defeats the Blue Meanie in 8-10 by pinfall. The announced quality and the colour commentary match a boost. The Blue Meanie 45, Danny Havoc 24. Blue Meanie improving technical. I need Danny Havoc to start improving, but a lot of the improvements are going to happen off screen now during the house shows. You're not going to see the improvements happen. You'll be glad to know AJ Styles is back to full health, and in a bout that had decent wrestling but non-existent crowd heat, AJ Styles defeats Bobby Roode in 7:47 by pinfall. The Stars clash 50-60-. Joe Lawler and Mike Tenay have pretty good chemistry in calling matches together. The announced quality and the colour commentary match of boost. Bobby Roode 45, AJ Styles up there at 58. No work improvements. And we see Christopher Daniels, and he goes, I hope you're enjoying your last days as a member of the X Division, because at Bound for Glory in 2 weeks, you're going to be leaving it. You see, AJ Styles, AJ, I've got your championship, and I'm not going to be losing it back to you anytime soon, boy. So, you know, Christopher Daniels going, yeah, I've got your belt, but you're not getting it back. And in 2 weeks' time, I'm going to be sending you packing out the X Division. Because we know AJ said if he doesn't win his championship back, he's going to be leaving. Which I think I've got written in my notes. I haven't checked my notes, yeah. So whoever wins, so between Chris Daniels and that, I should have really mentioned that in the promo. Sugar, I forgot about that. So the loser leaves town for the TNA World title. When AJ loses his rematch bound for Glory, he will leave the X Division. So he won't leave TNA, but he's leaving the X Division. But Scott Hall and Raven have a massive backstage brawl between each other. That's quite interesting. Them two are bloody fighting backstage. They're set in. Oh god. And the game's broken. Okay, oh that's why, because it was a big match. We'll have a look, just go through that in a second. I swear we've got that booked for Bound for Glory. Kane versus Mick Foley, Kangle versus Undertaker, Rowan versus Scott Hall. Yeah, good. In a battle that decent wrestling but little heat, Brian Danielson, Jimmy Jacobs, PJ Black, Soldier Shark Boy, and the Zebra Kid defeat Jerry Lynn, Shawwoman, Fergal Devet, Drago, and Danielson in 5:48. When Brian Danielson defeated Drago by pinfall the cattle mutilation, a 57C-. The announced quality of match, Chris Daniels 61, Drago 53, Fergal Devet 54, Sean Waltman 67, Jerry Lynn 65, the Zebra Kid 32, Shark Boy 49, PJ Black 41, Jimmy Jacobs 37, and Brian Danielson 58. Drago improving in performance, and he's been picked up by Eddie Guerrero to be his protege. So Eddie Guerrero's protege is Drago. So that's going to be quite interesting over the next few weeks. In an exceptional match, Chris Benoit defeats Raven in 8:28 by submission. Chris Benoit 89, Raven 91, a 71C+. Chris Benoit improving in performance. just a nice little match to go to kind of. And also that advanced the Quote the Wave and Never Small storyline because Scott Hall was on commentary. In an exceptional match followed by another exceptional match, William Regal, The Rock and Triple H defeat Steve Austin, Chris Jericho and Booker T in 8-10 when Triple H defeated Booker T by pinfall the pedigree. Booker T was the weak link, struggled to keep Evans' performance. Steve Austin's getting better his gimmick. Triple H, Stephanie McMahon have pretty good chemistry. Jerry Lawler and Mike Tenay have good chemistry and calling match together. Booker T 68, Chris Jericho 92, Austin 98, Triple H 90, Rock 92, William Regal 86, Booker T improving and flying. The TNA World storyline has had a segment but lost heat, and so has the TNA Championship storyline. Then a video plays hyping up their world title match at Bound for Glory between the Austin and the Rock, which is quite important because that's going to be the main event of the night. Steve Austin versus Rock. He's been brought back, but I'm going to put him on leave again after tonight until Jeff Jarrett's available because he's here. Yeah, but in the battle, had fantastic and good wrestling. Paul White defeats BJ James in 7:32 open for the chokeslam. BJ James David degenerate gimmicks got a rating above average. Paul White 67, BJ James 65, 66C plus. Not a bad match, no work improvements. Then we see James Mitchell and Abyss and Jeremy Borash in the back, and he goes, "In 2 weeks, my boy got his biggest match. You see, TNA scared of Abyss. Ever since he won the TNA Hardcore Championship, they've been putting him in multi-man matches to lose his belt. You see, in 2 weeks at Bound for Glory, they're doing it again. But my man Abyss will not lose because he's the strongest powerhouse on the TNA roster." And he does his Michael Evil laugh. I love the father James Mitchell. I think he's one of the quite a good manager along with Jim Cornette. In the battle, had superb wrestling and great heat. Kurt Hennig defeats Eddie Guerrero in 8:17 by pinfall the Hennigplex at 70C plus. Eddie Guerrero 83, Kurt Hennig 80. No work improvements. We'll move on then. It was just a nice match to throw together. The APA debut, defeating the Spanish announce team when John Bradshaw Layfield defeated Julio Mexico by pinfall the aided powerbomb. John Bradshaw Layfield, badass gimmicks got a showing above average. Ron Simmons, badass gimmicks got on a showing very good. Julio Maximo and Joseph Maximo showed excellent chemistry teaming together. Ron Simmons 68, John Bradshaw Layfield 74, Joseph Maximo 39, Julio Maximo 45, John Bradshaw Layfield improving her performance. And then the video plays hyping up tonight's main event between Undertaker and Kane, taking on Angle and Foley. We also have those little hype packages ahead of the main event. An 80B in an exceptional match. Kane and The Undertaker defeat Mick Foley and Kurt Angle in 2006 by pinfall. In 2006 when Kane defeated Kurt Angle by pinfall the chokeslam. Kane was the weak link. Paul Bearer did go work at ringside. Kane and Paul Bearer put good chemistry. So does The Undertaker and Paul Bearer. The match deserved better commentary. The Undertaker 95, Kane 72, Kurt Angle 99, Mick Foley 86. Kane improving in Rumble, Mick Foley in Techno. But a bloody good match, and that's how we end the show tonight. With the Brothers of Destruction getting a huge victory win, standing tall over everyone else. Next week is our go-home show for Bound for Glory 77B, a increased our popularity in 44 regions. So ladies and gentlemen, next week is the go-home show for Bound for Glory. You do not want to miss it, because I promise you this, there's going to be a huge angle opening up TNA Impact. I want to thank everybody for watching. I'll see you at the go-home show and then Bound for Glory. Thank you for watching. Hey guys, welcome back on the main screen. I've made a decision that Impact's not going to be happening this week. This was the go-home show. We're going to jump straight into Bound for Glory after this. But hopefully you noticed a little Easter egg. There was a little Easter egg on the backdrop. I didn't change it to this, which I'm going to be using for a couple of more episodes because I do like this picture. For the weekly episode series, what we're going to be starting next week, it is taped, it is all ready to go. It's going to be put out on Monday, the 11th of December. And every Monday preceding that, the weekly series will be going out. So I have taped it. I know what happens. I know what the series is. Hopefully going to go back and look at the original TNA Impact and see what it was. But why am I doing this? Because I'm going to move to TNA Impact. We're not doing TNA Impact. We're going straight into Bound for Glory. We're going to have a quick look at our titles. So our main championship, which is the TNA Championship, which is going to be on Impact. This might help you guys work out what's going on with the brand split. at the moment, it hasn't had many defences. This has got an 80B in Prestige. If we look at the Prestige, it's gone down. It has gone down because of the amount of titles we've got. Hardcore Championship has had 5 defences. It's a 50D plus. It was a 66. So hopefully that'll sort out. The tag team titles, which are held by James Storm and Chris Harris, have dropped as well. So we're not doing very well with Prestige on our championships. The reason being is they're not defended as often as I would like. This one's gone up. It was a 54, it's now 55. There's no restrictions, blah, blah, blah. This one hasn't. This one's kind of gone. This one has dropped, but it was a 90A when it was made, and it's just dropped to an 85. The TNA World Tag Team titles has dropped massively. As you can see, it's 70C plus to a 41D. The problem is, the more you have them defended, the more their prestige goes up. We also own the NWA National Heavyweight, the NWA North American. We also have the NWA World Heavyweight. We also have the Junior Heavyweight, the Tag Team titles, and the World Women's. We have took over the NWA, but this is not why we're here. We're going to have a look at something today. Developmental. My developmental roster is packed, stacked, full of people. Now, the company is Ring of Fire. Let's show you the trial company. So, Ring of Fire Wrestling, as you know, or will know, Ring of Fire Championship, the Ring of Fire Tag Team titles, the Ring of Fire Velocity title, and then the Women's title, which is vacant at the moment. At the moment, this is everybody who I have signed to the company under developmental. We'll go through everybody. Some of these people might get called up very soon after Bound for Glory. During the at the moment, I know that every team on the roster, but because I fell ill and I don't remember how it was set up, Too Cool, who have signed, and the APA, who debuted this week on Impact, are going to be set to either Explosion or Impact. I cannot remember which one they're going to at the moment. I think it's Explosion, but we'll find out once the brand split kicks in. But we're going to have a quick look at our developmental roster, go through everybody who I've got signed. So we've got Alison Danger. She's 24 years old. She's a 1-year pro. Annie Social, 19, 1-year pro. Ariel, 16. She's a rookie. She's in a rookie year, so she's just started out. BJ Whitmer, 1-year pro. BT Gunn, rookie year. Caprice Coleman, 4-year pro. Chase Stevens, 2-year pro. Chris Sabin, 1-year pro. Boom Ba Boom Colt Cabana, 2-year pro. Dal Pretson, who is a British wrestler. He is King Kando. He's not under the King Kando gimmick, but I will be sorting that out. He will be going under the King Kando gimmick. Danny Collins. Dean Chapman. There's a lot of British wrestlers in the company, by the way. Dragon Kid, Drew Galloway, Eric Young, Extreme Tiger, Flatliner, Frankie Kazarian, Giant Singh, aka the Giant Carly, Homicide, Hot Stuff Hernandez, Jodie Flash, another British wrestler, Joey Ryan, Johnny Moss, Johnny Spade, Johnny Storm, Ken Anderson, Kenny Omega, Kevin Fatigue, Lacey, Lizzie Valentine, Matt Cross, Matt Stryker, Mike Knox, Nikki Rocks, Rampage Brown, Robbie Brookside, Roughneck, Sabotage, Spud, Teddy Hart, TJ Perkins, Tomohiro Ishii, Tracy Brooks, Tracy Taylor, Trailer Park Trash, Travis Tomko, Wolfgang, and Zach Zodiac. Rory Knight, as you know, is currently working already on the thing. He's 11 years old, by the way. I know there's a lot of British wrestlers working for that company, and that's because I'm a big British fan in the South, but there will be more people joining as time goes on. I'm not going to go through all our roster, because our roster is bloody massive, which is why we're doing a brand split. If you didn't know how big our roster is, we have 105 active wrestlers working for us at the moment. Hence why I'm going to jump straight in to get Bound for Glory done, and then I can get back into All Action Wrestling, get that sorted, which you would have already watched, and then come back to this with the brand split and hopefully put more effort. But as you can see, last night, we really struck gold as 77B. We took down Monday Night Raw, who got 73B minus, with two big men of Albert and Rikishi. Diamond Dallas Page defeated Crash. Buff Bagwell defeated Spike. Brian Clark defeated Jimmy Cable. So over in the WWF, which is what we're going to have a look at now, we're going to have a look at a couple of companies. We're the third largest company, so we're only going to look at the two companies now, number 1 and number 2 in the world. I'm not going to go through the roster. What we're going to do is go through the championships. We're going to have a look at who their biggest stars are. This is just to flesh out the episode. I know it sounds a bit bad, but European champion is Spike Dudley. Intercontinental is Perry Saturn. King of the Ring was won by Big Show. Light heavyweight is Funaki. Women's is Molly Holly. World heavyweight is Billy Gunn. And then world tag team champions are vacant, which was Scotty 2 Hotty and Grandmaster Sexy, who they did not renew a contract for. Which is, WWF has been very weird in this game, not renewing certain people's contracts. I don't know what's going on there. But they have 40 active wrestlers. Their most popular stars are Diamond Dallas Page, Buff Bagwell, Rikishi, Kion, and the Billy Gunn. So they really have not got many people. If we just go into here and we just go to tour of the company and we go to next, and we look at who we've got The Rock, Stone Cold, Taker, H, and Kurt Angle. We are the future of pro wrestling, guys. There's our company, Ring of Fire, which is the CEO. This is our training grounds. But Ruddy Boy Gonzalez is our CEO. Our head booker is Zoe Bischoff. That is all I could have. They've got the same thing as us. The most popular stars are Joanna Lorna, who I did not know was working for the company, who is a star quality. Chris Conando, a 29-year-old. Of course, Homicide, Mikey Whitwick, and Danny Doring. They're not actually on developmental. They're just a part of the company because they can be. There's quite a lot of people in here who are not members of the thing. Where is she? I didn't know she was still wrestling. What was her name? I can't even remember her name now. There is a lot of wrestlers in this company as well, but you know, this is the fun of having a training ground school. Yeah, she's a wrestler. She's a heel. So don't be surprised if she basically, the reason I haven't brought her in is because of the Triple H situation. If any of you do not, I don't know what happened there, but there you go. But yes, so that's our training company. Now the next company we're gonna have a quick look at is NWA Hammerlock, who we're working with. Now they haven't got they've got Peter Collins as their King of the Ring. Mike Mendoza is their junior heavyweight, and the big gold champion is John Ritchie, which is important to say the least. There's World Association of Wrestling is in the company. There we go. World Association of Wrestling, which is owned by Ricky Knight. As many of you know, we have done a series on this. Their cruiserweight champion was the Zebra Kid, who is sadly with us on a Witten deal now. That has been vacated. The British heavyweight champion is Drew McDonald. Paul Terrell and Jimmy Ocean are your tag team champions, which surprised me because I was surprised Ricky Knight's done that. And the world champion is Tiger Steel. But they're British heavyweight, so these two are main event belts. But we'll let them get on with it. But the next largest company in the world, which I wanted to have a quick look at, is this company, New Japan Pro Wrestling, number 2 in the world, as everybody knows. Hopefully we've become number 1 and we'll be better. Wait, ignore these bits. So the IWGP Heavyweight title is vacated because Kazuma Fujita, I don't know what's happened to him, but he's not there anymore. Taya Kana is the Junior Heavyweight. Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions is Alsima and Jason von der Liger. Liger's joined us, no longer there. And then Hiroshio Tenzon and Satomu Kojima have left. So what's happened to Casimir Fuja? If we go to Aluminium, these are some of the people they've had on their roster before now. Has he been injured then? Obviously this guy has been injured. There he is. MMA badass. He's a wrestler. He's not assigned a push at the moment. He's training for an MMA fight. So he's left to go and join MMA. There you go. But yes, so there's some interesting companies in here that are no longer active, like Great British Wrestling Hardcore, GBH. They're no longer active in Britain. And they've got some interesting people. But there is, WAW is still going. All Star Wrestling is still going. Brian Dixon's little company. Bill Powers, Marty Jones, Johnny Kidd, Jimmy Ocean and Ricky Knight were the tag team champions. Klondike Kate, Marty Jannetty, Legend of Doom. So yeah, we are just keeping an eye on some of these companies. I do want to take out some of these companies. You know, it might help, especially in the UK, if we can get one of these companies bought out. It might help, you know, us take over the thing. But I want to thank you guys for watching this quick little peek at what's going on behind the scenes. I'm not going to go through everything because there's a lot of secrets and stuff going on. But we'll see you at Bound for Glory. Thank you for watching. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the greatest show on earth to happen. Tonight, one of the matches totally scraps the divisions. But tonight, we've got a stat pre-show, a stat main card, and we are sold out tonight. 10,000 people are packed into the Governor's Stadium for Bound for Glory #1. And in our first pre-show bout of the night, that had subpar wrestling and non-existent crowd heat, Daphne and ODB defeated Mia Toyota and Angel Williams. When ODB defeated Mia Toyota by pinfall. I will be retiring the United States Championship after tonight. ODB was right off the game. Daphne and ODB have great chemistry. The now says Daphne was pretty weak. The announced quality of the match, the collar come together match a boost. Angel Williams 28, Mia Toyota 59, ODB 38, and Daphne 45. No work improvements, but there's a lot of multi-man matches on the pre-show as per usual because we had to fit everybody into the card, which is very difficult because there's a lot of matches on tonight's card, including a buried live match, a ladder match, and that would take up a lot of time. So in a pre-show bout, we had decent wrestling, but little heat. Sterling James Keenan, Roderick Strong and Delirious and Al Ligero defeated Excalibur, Chris Hero and Bobby Roode, and Fergal defeated in 6:25 when Al Ligero defeated Excalibur by pinfall. In terms of ring work, Fergal defeated essential to everyone else. Delirious was off his game. Jerry Lynn and Mike TNA have pretty good chemistry, and so do Mauro and Aldo. The announced quality lifter match, Al Ligero 46, Delirious 45, Roderick Strong 48, Sterling James Keenan 39, Fergal defeated 65, Bobby Roode 49, Chris Hero 47, Excalibur 36. No work appearance. Also, James Storm and Chris Harris do not defend their TNA tag titles tonight, just because I didn't have enough time to fit them onto the card either. So they're not defending their belts, but they are in the pre-show or the free for all, as was what we called it at the last pay-per-view, I do believe. A bit like the WWF free for all. Basically, this is like on the pay-per-view channels before the pay-per-view. But everyone's going to be pulling out their stocks tonight. As you can see, in a pre-show about a decent wrestling down much heat, the Hit Squad and Dudley Boys defeat Briscoe Brothers and America's Most Wanted in 5:58 when Brother Devon defeat James Storms by pinfall for the Dudley drop. Joe Little and Mike TNA have pretty good chemistry. The Nats quality lifter match. Chris Harris 44, James Storm 46, Mark Briscoe 52, Jay Briscoe 48, Brother Devon 68, Brother Ray 68, Brother Devon 66, Monster Mac 36, Dan Math 39, Brother Ray in performance and performance skills, Chris Harris in performance, and Monster Mac in Rumble. 57C minus, not a bad match. We move on to another. I know there's quite a few 8-man tag matches on the pre-show. And there's also a 10-man tag. In an extremely short pre-show match, Drago, Jerry Lynn, Paul London, Sean Waltman and Sanjay Dutt defeat Sharkboy, McGuinness, Side Owl, Jacobs and an Amazing Red when Drago defeated Amazing Red by pinfall. Drago was way off his game, Sean Waltman seemed off his game, Sean Waltman's getting better his game, Jerry Lawler might have pretty good chemistry and corner matches together. 64C, Amazing Red 63, Jimmy Jacobs 44, Matt Seidel 61, Nigel McGuinness 59, Sharkboy 58, Sanjay Dutt 52, Sean Waltman 70, Paul London 65, Jerry Lynn 72 and Drago 51. Paul London improving in Rumble and Sanjay Dutt in performance. Not bad at all, really. The X Division guys did quite well in that match. In the pre-show bout, had decent wrestling down much heat. The SATs and Gado and Jado defeated the APA and the Modern Dragons in 6:28 when Jado defeated Joshi Tatsuri by pinfall the backdrop suplex 57C minus. James Mitchell was pretty weak at the announce desk. Jado 52, Gado 52, Josio Maximo 44, Julio Maximo 54, Yoshi Tajiri 50, Super Crazy 61, Bronson 64, John Bradshaw Lazel 69, Julio Maximo improving in performance. And this, I think this next match is the one where I threw everything together to get everybody on the card, and this kind of just ended. Yeah, this is like the mixture. You've got the hardcore division, the standard division, so you've got the hardcore division, the standard division, or no division. Kevin Steen, Brock Lesnar, Dustin and Steve Corino got no division. Hardcore division and Danny Havoc, Two Tough Tony and Zebra Kid and Sonny Siaki representing the X division. So a nice mixture of wrestling styles. But in a feature about that, decent wrestling but little heat, the Zebra Kid, Steve Corino, Dustin Rhodes and Two Tough Tony defeat Brock Lesnar, Danny Havoc and Kevin Steen and Sonny Siaki in 6:20, when the Zebra Kid defeat Danny Havoc by pinfall. Brock Lesnar sustained a quizzical neck strain. Great. The announced quality lift match, Two Tough Tony 25, Dustin 68, Steve Corino 64, the Zebra Kid 40, Sonny Siaki 53, Kevin Steen 46, Danny Havoc 28, Brock Lesnar 61, Dustin improving performance, Brock Lesnar in technical, Danny Havoc in performance, and the Zebra Kid in performance. Wahey. Thank you, Ted DiBiase. Tonight, we are bound for glory. After a few months, we are now splitting the company down the middle. Hybrid Entertainment will show Explosion whereas Impact will stay where it is. Tonight, the man, the myth, the legend Undertaker takes on the WWF Warrior Kurt Angle. Who will be on top? Who will leave with a victory heading into the brand split? Scott Hall, a man who loves, the man who the fans love, the mystical Raven. They meet in a battle that will be bloody. In their first main event, in the first of the main events of the night, Chris Jericho and Shawn. Chris Jericho's show rolls into town as he challenged Regal for the TNA World Heavyweight title. The loser leaves TNA, but who will be leaving the main? Who will be leaving? The man fans love, or the man fans hate? And the main event of the night, The Rock, the TNA champion Steve Austin, Stone Cold Brawler. These two have met before, but who will come out on top? Now TNA Wrestling and Mars Bars presents Bound for Glory live on pay-per-view. So all the storylines advance the segment and gain heat. A 77B, not too bad. So we cut to the arena. We see the arena where a load of pyro go off and massive fire display. We see a huge stage set with screens and the camera cuts to the fans waving signs and stuff. We then jump to Mike and Jerry, who are just off the stage. And Mike goes, "Welcome to Bound for Glory. Tonight, TNA Wrestling is live at the biggest event of the year. Tomorrow, these guys get split up, but tonight every division, every wrestler is going to fight and put their bodies on the line. Steve Austin and The Rock are in separate ends of the building, head of the main event." And she goes, "Tonight is a huge battle. There's loads of great matches. WrestleMania's got nothing on what we got planned tonight. Let's kick it off with the X Division." And that's what we shall do. Let's get into our night of back-to-back wrestling. As in about that, subpar wrestling and Little Heat, Austin Aries defeats PJ Black in 8:09 by pinfall to 450 cent on a 48D. The announced quality in the color come together match of boost. PJ Black 48, Austin Aries 44. No work improvements of 48D plus. An amazing match from these two. In a 48D, another 48D burst in a Balvad subpar wrestling a Little Heat. Dean Thomas defeated Sandman in a fans bringing weapons match in 8:27 by pinfall to Power Driver. Dean Thomas was really off his game. Dean Thomas and Sandman had pretty good chemistry and it showed in their performances. Jerry Law might have pretty good chemistry in calling matches. Announced quality in the colour comment together match of boost. Dean Thomas 23, Sandman 59. Sandman improving in performance. Of course, we know Dean Thomas is better known as the wife beater. But they're both hardcore wrestlers. So a 48D, not too bad. I'm not expecting very good. In a terrible match, Jacqueline Moore, Katrina Walters and Mickey James defeat Tori Wilson, Natalie Dean Hart and Mischief in 6:51 when Jacqueline Moore defeated Mischief by pinfall. In terms of ring work, Jacqueline Moore was head and shoulders above everyone else, so 43D. Natalie Dean's getting better gimmick, so is Jacqueline. Mickey James debuted a bitch gimmick, Scottish Rate very good. The announced quality in the colour come together match a boost. Mischief 39, Natalie Dean Hart 27, Tori Wilson 32, Mickey James 36, Katrina Walters 30, Jacqueline Moore 35. Katrina Walters improving in performance. So good old Katrina. Let's move on. We're sold out tonight, so I'm quite happy with that. And I don't think every match is going to suck. I think the first 3 matches are going to slow down. 58C plus and above had decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat. Abyss defeated Devon Storm, Tommy Dreamer, Vampiro, Nick Mondo, and the Blue Mini in 12:06 when Abyss retrieved the item. Abyss makes defense number 6 of his TNA Hardcore title. Nick Mondo was the Reeton and Strunker as performance. James Mitchell a good work at ringside. The announced quality of the match: Blue Mini 48, Devon Storm 55, Tommy Dreamer 62, Vampiro 58, Nick Mondo 36, Abyss 54. Yep, and Abyss improving and flying. The Hardcore Division storylines advance the segment. C minus. Not better than I thought this match would get, to be honest, to put in a Nick Mondo and Abyss in the match. But a 66C plus is the next match, and I'm very proud of these guys. In about a decent wrestling with much heat, Too Cool defeated the Unstoppable Forces in 8:16. When Grandmaster Sexy defeated Smojo by pinfall, the AD sit out bomb. Grandmaster Sexy debuted his dancing 4 gimmicks got on a train of average. Scotty 2 same gimmick above average. Scotty 2 way off his game. CM Punk and Samoa Joe showed X-Code streaming together. Samoa Joe 66, CM Punk 65, Scotty 2 57, Grandmaster Sexy 70. No work improvements, a 66C plus. Not bad, really, from those guys. Have we had a title match yet? No, we haven't actually. In above, had decent wrestling, but little heat. Brian Kendrick defeated Brian Danielson in 8:09 by pinfall the Sliced Bread 2. A 64C. Brian Kendrick 64, Danielson 65. No work improvements, but that ends that storyline tonight. But there you go, a 64C. In above, had decent wrestling, but not much heat. Monty Brown defeated Kid Cash, John Cena, and Randy Orton in 8:13. The order of elimination was Kid Cash first, then Randy Orton, and finally John Cena. The announced quality lifted the match: Kid Cash 57, Monty Brown 55, John Cena 48, Randy Orton 58, Monty Brown improving in Rumble, a 56C minus. Can we get some B-rated matches, please? That would be nice. 65C, in about had good wrestling and great heat and good wrestling. BJ James defeated Rhino in 7:59 by pinfall the pile driver. BJ James 65, Rhino 66. No work improved. 65C, not bad off those two guys. Still not a B-rated. In a poor match, Lita defeated Beth Phoenix, Gail Kim, and Trish Stratus in 7:52. The order of elimination was Gail Kim first, then Beth Phoenix, and finally Trish. Lita is the TNA Women's Champion. Beth Phoenix is getting better. Gimmick announced quality in the colour come together match a boost. Beth Phoenix 31, Gail Kim 32, Lita 65, Trish Stratus 54. Lita improving in Rumble and Techno. Trish Stratus was meant to retain the title, so I don't know what's going on there. We'll ignore that and pretend we'll have something to say, because of course Trish Stratus has only made one defence of that belt. In a decent match, Christian Cage defeated Ron Killings in 8:03 by pinfall. As the 4th time this has been done recently, you need to be better. Damn. Ron Killings 59, Christian Cage 70. No work improvement, 53C minus. And of course, after the match, we hear some news music. You think you know me? We'll do that one. And Edge rushes out into the ring and spears Cage out of his boots. And Edge just stands there with Mike and goes, "Sod you stupid fans for cheering this loser. Turning his back on me because I got injured. I am back and I'm going to make Cage's life a living hell." A 73B minus. And Edge is back, my friends. And he does wrestle on the card later on. Just going to tell you that now. In a bad decent wrestling, Madame Cheat, Chris Daniels defeated AJ Styles in 14:37 by submission. Daniels makes defense number 4 of his TNA X Division title. AJ Styles getting better. He's getting announced quality in the colour commentary match boost. AJ Styles 47, Daniels 51. Styles improving in Rumble, Techno, and Performance. Holy shit, Styles. And I tell you this now, that does mean that AJ Styles is leaving the X Division. And I also will be confirming Bobby Roode will be leaving alongside him. Okay, they're just complaining because it was a brawl-based match and I forgot to change it to the general one. But I'm not bothered. In an exceptional match, Chris Benoit defeated Paul White in 9:25 by pinfall. The Dragon Suplex, a 70C+. Chris Benoit 89, Paul White 66. Benoit improving in performance. Nice little match just there. In an exceptional match, Raven defeated Scott Hall in 8:11 by pinfall after using a foreign object. Raven's getting better his gimmick. Raven 87, Scott Hall 88, and Scott Hall improving in Rumble. A 70C+. Not bad at all. In a decent match, Jason Liger defeated Fit Finney in 7:59 by pinfall the Liger Bomb. Jason Liger 73, Fit Finley 53, 65C, Liger improving performance. One of their better matches, I think. Very proud of these two. These two have been improving quite well since we brought them in and we put them into a storyline. In a decent match, the UK Pitbulls defeated the Hardy Boys when Bulk defeated Matt Hardy by pinfall the Bulkish Driver. The UK Pitbulls make defence number 7 of their TNA World Tag Team titles. Remember, this was a dog collar match. Bulk was visibly tiring towards the end. Jeff and Matt Hardy showed excellent chemistry. It's the fourth time this has been done. It needed to be better. The great performance of Jeff Hardy stood out. Matt Hardy 71, Jeff Hardy 83, Big Dave 39, Bulk 36. No worker improvements. 50 D+. I ain't complaining. Jeff Hardy complained it was a brawl-based match. But I was playing to the strengths of the UK Pitbulls. And our first 81B! Yay! In an unbelievable match, Kurt Angle defeated The Undertaker in 7:14 when The Undertaker was trapped interference from the Triple H. The Undertaker and Paul Bearer had great chemistry. Kurt Angle 98, Undertaker 98. The We Have Your Storyline advanced segment and gained heat. So The Undertaker was buried alive, bless me, because of Triple H. How dare bloody Triple H get involved in The Undertaker's match? I bet The Undertaker is livid. In a battle that had great heat, great wrestling and decent match in the crowd, Eddie Guerrero defeated RVD in 8:26 by pinfall while using the ropes for leverage of 70C+. Rob Van Dam's getting better at his gimmick. Rob Van Dam 66, Eddie Guerrero 81. Rob Van Dam improving in performance, and so is Eddie at 70C+. Good old guys, very good. From both of these guys, I'm very proud of them. In an exceptional match, Mick Foley defeated Kane in 8:09 by pinfall double arm DDT at 70C+. Paul Bearer did good work at ringside. Kane and Paul Bearer had pretty good chemistry. Mick Foley seemed off his game. Mick Foley's getting better at his gimmick. Kane 74, Mick Foley 81. No work improvements, but a nice little match from these guys. And this is a great show so far. I'm quite proud of all these 70C pluses. In a battle that had subpar wrestling and good heat, Edge defeated Kurt Hennig in 7:40 by pinfall the leaping DDT. Kurt Hennig 81, Edge 80. Edge is improving technical. I'm going to be giving him the spear after this show. I think you can give him the spear, I don't know. In an exceptional match, Triple H defeated Booker T in 14:49 by pinfall the pedigree. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon pretty good chemistry. Booker T is getting better at his gimmick. Jerry Lawler might just have pretty good chemistry calling matches. Roddy Piper was pretty weak at the announce desk. Triple H 97, Booker T 72. No work on Rizzo, 73B minus. A video hypes up who's going to be leaving TNA. We all know who it's going to be because he's going on tour with his band. But in an exceptional match, William Regal defeated Chris Jericho in 2014 by pinfall. Regal makes defense number 10 of his TNA World Heavyweight title. The match deserved better commentary. It's the fourth time this match has been done. It needed to be better. Shit. Chris Jericho 92, William Regal 92. William Regal improving in technical. 63C. Thank God it wasn't the main event. And the main event of the night is Rock versus Steve Austin. Please be good. Please be good. 82B. In an unbelievable match, The Rock defeated Steve Austin in a 1v1 lethal lockdown match in 2043. The Rock makes defense number 3 of his TNA title. Steve Austin was really off his game. Steve Austin and The Rock had pretty good chemistry and lifted the match. The match deserved better colour commentary and announcing. Steve Austin 100, The Rock 100. The Rock improving in technical even though he got 100. We end the show with that 82B. Not the best show, if I'm honest. I think this show could have been a lot better. I think an 83B plus, I ain't complaining with that for a rating. Actually, that show did better than I thought it would. There is certain areas I think the biggest problem we've got is some of our lower wrestlers are not very well known. They're not known in the area. I think another thing we've got increased the popularity to 34 regions, which is not bad. I think the other thing is as we continue building these wrestlers like AJ, Rude, Foley, everybody's going to keep improving all the time. And these shows are just going to keep getting better and better and better. Next year, we're going to aim for an 84B. Ladies and gentlemen, that was TNA Bound for Glory. Thank you for watching. Next TNA episode, the brand split begins. Please be ready because there's going to be some major storylines. And what the hell is Edge doing? And what the hell is Edge going to do to Christian Cage? We're going to find out who's going to be going after William Regal now Chris Jericho's gone. Who's going to be going after The Rock now Steve Austin's out. It's all going to be played for tomorrow night on TNA Impact and Explosion on Hybrid Entertainment. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again real soon. This is JJR.